my record collection. Whoever thought it would actually take this long? This is some really dark shit. Somebody gave this to me. I've never listened to it. One of Wendy Carlos's classics. I actually wrote Wendy for a while. She's a really awesome person, or I hope she's still alive. I don't even know where this came from. I've never listened to it, or the one before it. I have a collection of classical and opera that I didn't stick in here. It's somewhere else. I don't really know how this got in here. I've had this record since I was 12. And we are now at the last stack, and thank God I don't have the 100 extra records that I sold a few years ago, because this would have turned into 6 parts. And if I don't hurry along, it's going to be 6 parts. 2 classic Fleetwood Mac albums. Another one that's a classic. This is an old Fleetwood Mac album from 1970, and I have to say it was fantastic. Very stony rock solo, guitar solo kind of stuff. This is, I believe, Heart's second album. The one with Barracuda, Dog and Butterfly from 78, I think. This one's from 79, I think. And this was the last thing they did before they went very mainstream pop in the mid-80s. Classic Queen album that has We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions on it. Another classic Queen album. This is ultra rare. Root Boy Slim and the Sex Change Band. This is sort of an experimental rock jazz kind of thing in the vein of Pink Floyd, but not quite as psychedelic. These were my mother's I Don't Really Care for Kiss. Classic Allman Brothers Band record. This was one of the biggest selling albums from the 70s, and frankly, it's not that good. However, Peter Frampton, shown here, later played guitar with David Bowie. Racist Ashlock, Ted Nugent. Small collection of Robin Trower. My friend Bill plays drums on some of this. Jefferson Airplane. 2 copies of this. And there's 2 copies of this as well. "1977 contains Sorry Is the Hardest Word." Greatest Hits Part 2. Too Low for Zero. That was the end of the Elton John. Now we're into 2 or 3 Paul McCartney. A few Isaac Hayes. I really got into him for a while. After all, he is the Duke of New York, a number one. This contains the excellent Diamonds and Rust title track, which was covered by, of all artists, Judas Priest. Not a fan of country, that's why you don't see very much of it in here. Unless it's folk like Chris Christopherson, which showed up several times in this collection. That's his wife, Rita, right there. Excellent album by Gordon Lightfoot, and it contains the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, 1977. I've got 3 or 4 Stevie Nicks records, and I don't know why, because I've never been a fan of her solo work. More Wendy Carlos. Carpenter's Greatest Hits. What a fantastic collection of songs. Al Stewart's classic, The Year of the Cat. A friend of mine named Deborah dated him for a while and said he was a total asshole. He's kind of a fool being an asshole when he never really got very far. He had 1 hit on this album, and the album sold just okay. And his next album had a couple of hits on it, and then he sank into obscurity. Anyway, I have some pictures somewhere of the two of them together. This has Alone Again Naturally on it, which is a great song. Mike Oldfield, which contains Tubular Bells from The Exorcist. Clannad, a wonderful Irish group. Not really a fan of the Mamas and the Papas, but there's some really great songs on here. Classic George Harrison triple album, Concert for Bangladesh. ABBA singles the first 10 years, and their singles the second 10 years. This is the best soul band of all time, I think, the Stylistics. I mean, it's got some great songs on it like Bet You By Golly Wow and Break Up to Make Up, That's All We Do, as well as You Make Me Feel Brand New, You Are Everything and Everything to Me, or whatever that one's called. Yeah, there's some really great songs on this. Whole bunch of greatest hits albums in these last few. The Cavalleria Rusticana, which was used in the last third of The Godfather Part 3. Only Ramones record I have left. I sold the other ones. And finishing off with 2 Pretenders records. And to finish this off with, I will show you my equipment. Currently, I have an Ion USB turntable. Just 2 days ago, I had to take my other turntable out, which was a much better turntable. I mean, brand new. I think it was $200 and some odd or something. Anyway, just the other day, the right channel started to sound too low, and I traced it and couldn't find the cause of the problem. So this was a brand new one a friend gave me, and it's actually pretty good. It's a USB turntable. And then down here, you can't see it, but I have a Yamaha 7.1 receiver. Let me see what I can see. So yeah, there's my receiver. It's a Yamaha.